and welcome to another edition of the PowerPlay series. I'm Darren Peters, founder and managing partner with the Peter Damon Group. Today's guest is a multi-talented, and his work is changing narratives in the Black community. Taroue Brooks is the publisher of Heart and Soul magazine, a documentary filmmaker, event planner, and publicist and lifestyle architect. He hails from Michael Jackson country, Gary, Indiana, and lives in both Washington, D.C. and Atlanta. He's worked with a variety of celebrity clients and is a regular contributor to both Rolling Out magazine and Heart and Soul magazine. Taroue most recently served as the executive producer of Amazon Prime documentary called What About Me?, a film uplifting the unheard voices of Black men in America. Thank you, Taroue, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Darren. It's good to be here.
Great. Now let's just get right into it. So Black-owned publications are rare. This series of this PowerPlay series only exists because of PowerPlay magazine. Could you tell us what inspired you to join the Heart and Soul magazine team and what drives your work?
Well, I try to move with intentionality, and I believe that we have to start documenting more of our stories. And with the limited number of Black-owned publications, I realized this was a unique opportunity when presented to me by the team at Heart and Soul. This will allow me the opportunity to garner more content of other stories of other Black people doing extraordinary things, that we typically wouldn't necessarily hear about. So I'm very excited about this new venture. I'm excited about the impact that it's going to have and the opportunities that it will create for other Black people.
Great. So what about me? I mean, I thought it was a very inspiring documentary that has now gone global. Can you talk about your experience making this one and some of the other documentaries that you've made and have in the hopper?
So it's funny. Years ago, I used to work at BET before I jumped out on my own as an entrepreneur. I worked in the special projects division for BET, and we produced documentaries. And actually, the first one that I worked on was a tribute to Black music legends. And that received an Emmy nomination in 1995. So I've had a lot of frustration in how we're viewed as Black men in America. And so I decided to do something about it. I couldn't change what the media had put out already. However, I could offer some additional content, which is why I worked to create What About Me, along with my two executive producers, Daryl Pitts and D. John Jackson. This project was a labor of love. It was very tender in spirit and creating because of the content. As a Black man, I've lived through some of the experiences that were shared in the documentary. The documentary process didn't take us long. We even did it through the pandemic, and it was aired this past January on Amazon Prime. I think that the best way I could probably express the experience of it is you had two other brothers that I was working with. We came together based on an idea that I had, and we worked together seamlessly. Long hours, lots of travel, lots of research, and lots of engagement. We handpicked every male that was a part of the documentary based on their offerings, their content, or experiences. Initially, it was going to be about the four young men that you see in the documentary. However, we realized going forward that this wouldn't work because they were so young, they hadn't had any real life experiences. So we had to shift, and we did it seamlessly. And they are part of the documentary, and they are about the future of Black men. And so we engaged people who dealt with police brutality, civil rights, voting, education, just all of this, systemic racism. And this documentary has taken off. It's garnered support from colleges, corporations, having, private viewing parties and conversations that are very impactful, because the title itself lends to the realness of it. Because once you say it, now you're part of it. What about me? The consideration of, that's very important. Um, I guess that's kind of why I made it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw it and I really, really enjoyed it. And I know you got another big project underway, and you might not be able to speak to it, but we're looking forward to seeing more of your work.
Well, I am looking forward to sharing more. Just the other day, I just got a few messages that the documentary is being watched around the world. While Amazon is international, I just didn't think of it really being watched elsewhere. And to receive those messages that is being watched around the world, it was a true shocker, but a pleasant one for sure. I am working on producing a documentary about Stillman College. I am a board of trustee member there, and the institution has an extraordinary history that we just don't know overall from the public standpoint. And I just think it's a unique opportunity to empower more people with that information. And it will definitely raise the profile and brand of Stillman College as well. I think all of our institutions should take note and really start documenting, because if we don't document, we really allow other people the opportunity to tell our story and control the narrative.
Yeah. Taroue, you're breaking down barriers, you're shattering stereotypes as a Black man in public relations. Can you share the origin of your story for your firm and what excites you about your profession? I mean, I can remember, many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, when you had me, you, and this singer named Howard Hewitt went out and played pool one night. So I know you hang out with a lot of these big name celebrities from time to time. Can you tell us also a little bit about some of the celebrities you work with and what that's like?
Well, as far as the origin of my business, initially I didn't know what I wanted to do after I left BET. I didn't know. And through some conversation and exploration, I began to work as an event planner. And that's, more how we began to connect a little bit more on that with the African American inaugural ball for President Clinton. 26 years in, it has evolved tremendously. It's changed quite a bit. This business is definitely based on relationships and access. I think that for me, most of my work has been tied to nonprofits or charity-driven work. And so there was always a purpose and passion behind it. And I think that it was just a great recipe to add on celebrities and entertainers to participate in these events to raise the awareness to the success of the organizations fulfilling their mission. From getting on the morning news. I mean, even that, one of the fun aspects of the business is getting up early in the morning at dark 30 in a city you don't live in. You're hoping your client gets up on time. You go to the news station and, everyone just comes on. They just light up and they do their thing. And it's just very empowering, because this is an opportunity to educate people. It's an opportunity to empower people. And it's an opportunity to, again, control our narrative, right? And you build relationships with clients over time. Not saying that you're going to be best friends, but there is a level of familiarity, camaraderie, that you will have over time. And for me, the business has changed quite a bit with technology and social media. That's drawn some of the power from the mainstream media is social media. I don't do a lot with social media personally. However, I do have respect for what it does offer. I think that now that things are opening up from this pandemic, I think the mainstream media is going to have a newfound jolt of energy because people are ready to get out, get back into the studios and not do virtual interviews. So I'm looking forward to that adjustment as well.
Well, not everyone gets a invite to the opening of Tyler Perry Studios, but I know you were one of the lucky ones.
Well, I will tell you that was a true lifetime experience. My friend and client Coco Brown, the comedian actress, we went together, and that was like a prom for adults, right? We took months trying to figure out what we're going to wear, and just a whole thing. I mean, it was a big thing, and so I didn't want to wear a normal tuxedo, so I ventured off a little bit and reached out to my friend, and I won't call him my stylist, but I'll call him Harley White. We worked together on what I was going to wear, and I ended up wearing a black velvet smoking jacket, right? Now, I will have this smoking jacket until I'm 99 and a half. I don't care what size I wear it at the time, bigger or smaller. I'm keeping a smoking jacket, It was a great experience. It was full of creativity at every point. It was full of creativity. And as an event planner as well, I was able to appreciate the layers of accoutrement that he offered during the weekend. And bravo to Tyler Perry for such an amazing vision and the commitment, tenacity for making it happen, because it's not easy being an entrepreneur. People think it is. The reality is it's about being committed. It's about being focused. It's about not being lazy. You have to work all of the time to make these things come true.
So look, Taroue, you've been called the godfather of marketing and communications. So in our current social media age, why is it still important to have communications professionals in your corner?
Well, this whole godfather thing, that's because I have a gray beard. That's all that really means. I'm just old now. Well, it's very important to have people to advocate on your behalf. It does validate you or whatever widget that you're trying to sell or feature. People are followers. And once you really understand that, you just have to package yourself in a way that is going to be impactful. And when you have representation, it does minimize a lot of the foolishness that you could embark upon, bogus opportunities. I mean, it definitely sets you apart from most. Yeah. So this is why social media is a little different. It's not as tight. It has a lot of visibility, but the exposure level is far more high. And so you have to be very, very, very careful about that.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I'm very proud of the people I have on my communications team, because it's definitely made an impact on my firm's ability to grow. So here's the last question, Taroue.
Okay.
If you could make one power play, in other words, change one thing or solve one problem in your industry, what would it be?
The one thing that I would change in this industry, and would be my power play move, is to really provide equal access to the minority PR people, with equal access to all platforms that exist in our society. That will be a game changer. Equal access. Yeah.
Great. Well, look, Taroue, let us know where our viewers can find you on social media.
So that's going to be easy. So it's my first name, Taroue, Taroue. Brooks is Facebook and Twitter, and just Taroue on IG.
Great. Well, we want to thank once again our guest, Taroue Brooks, for stopping by the PowerPlay series. You can watch the series on the Peter Damon Group's social media platform at Peter Damon Group on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.